What's up YouTube, welcome to the review of the brand new Pulsar F250. So I'm riding a Pulsar after a very long time. I think the last Pulsar which I rode was the Pulsar RS200, and after that this one. So honestly I was getting a lot of requests to review the Pulsar 220F. Unfortunately I couldn't find a test ride bike in Bangalore, so that's the reason why I couldn't do that. But fortunately I got a test ride bike for the F250, which is much similar to the 220F, and this is going to be the one which is replacing the 220 by now. So not too long this time. I got 3 days with the motorcycle, and yesterday out on the highway for this review. So honestly I have to say that this is a great looking motorcycle. So it has a lot of clues from the 220F. Looking at the fairing and those portion, basically this portion is the same as the older Pulsars and all, and the Pulsar logo coming over there, and towards the side it looks very nice. It looks very premium as well. The stickering works, the kind of panels and the edges, everything looks really nice. It gives a premium as well as a very sporty look to the motorcycle. And coming on to the side, you can see the engine over there, the new 250cc engine. It has written twin spark over there. We'll talk about the engine when we go for the ride. And we get a crash guard as a standard over here. And towards the side, the new exhaust. I really love the way this exhaust is sounding. Even though it's a new 250cc, Bajaj has made sure that all the Pulsar fans will be very much satisfied with the exhaust sound, because it's more throaty, it's more bassy, and it gives a really nice feel. Even though it is replacing the 220, it is doing 100% justice to the exhaust note that the 220 was giving previously. And coming on to the race side, actually I felt that the tail section design was a little different. When the motorcycle is actually rolling, the tail actually looks very similar to the previous versions of Pulsar, and it looks really nice as well. So this is a new seat design actually. Basically it's well padded, you can see that. The pillion seat is also well padded, and the grab rail is nice and wide. Basically I feel that the pillion seat is slightly longer, which gives a little more comfort to the pillion. And the distance from the pillion seat to the foot peg is decent. And yeah, there you can see a very ugly looking sari guard. I think that will be the only thing which I wanted to remove from this motorcycle. Getting on to this motorcycle, I have almost planted foot on both sides. Flat foot, that means it's not a very tall motorcycle, and this angle is really nice. It looks very neat. And what you can see over there is a small USB charger port, which is a really nice touch. You don't have to touch the electricals, any wiring it and all, to add an additional charging cable for your mobile phones. So this is basically a clip-on based handlebar, and what you see on the side is the pass switch, the high beam and the low beam, the turn indicators and the horn. On the side you have the engine kill switch and the ignition, that's all. And when we turn on the dial, it's a really nice design, that's what I'll say. It is packing quite a lot of decent information. So this is the big analog tacho, which I really love. I love analog tachos. And there are a few information over here. So here you will see the gear position indicator, the speed, the time, the odometer, the trip meters, the fuel level indicator. So very basic information. Don't expect that kind of information that you find on the Duke 250 or the Adventure 250, but you have pretty decent stuff over there. And this motorcycle comes with side stand sensor, which is also nice. And to talk about these mirrors are giving decent visibility. No issues to use inside city or on highways. So let's hear the exhaust sound. So it has a slightly bassy feel, and you can feel that roaring engine. So let's hit the highway. Alright, we are on highway now. So let's pull it hard. So the engine is basically very happy to rev. So it's like it has got a really nice and good punch over the mid-rev ranges, and the top end is also very nice. Basically the engine actually makes a very nice sound. It feels like you're riding a fast bike, a slightly louder bike. You'll reach that 5k to 6k rpm pretty quick, and you'll be riding inside the city in the third or might be in the fourth gear. By the way, this comes with a 5-speed gearbox, and I don't really see a need for the 6th gear because the 5th gear itself acts like a cruise gear, and when you're out on the highway, like cruising on 80 and 90 is not at all an issue. And whenever you ride it really hard and touches the red line, what I feel is that there's a minor vibration on the seat and the foot peg, otherwise no issues. But I was much comfortable to shift the gears at 5k to 6k rpm, which is like the sweet spot. There's no disappointment in the top end. I feel like shifting at the right rpm, which is 5 to 6k. And the ergonomics are much relaxed on this motorcycle. You have a clip-on, and the clip-on, you can see over here that it has got a really nice and raised position. That means you're almost sitting upright, and the seating is also really nice, and the foot peg is underneath the rider, and it sometimes feel like the foot peg is slightly raised as well, and which gives a slight sporty feel, but really nice. This ergonomics is not going to hurt you anyway, because I'm not putting any pressure onto the handlebar, no pressure on the wrist or on the shoulders. And this windscreen is actually giving a protection till a speed of 80 and all. I'm not expecting something more on that, because the windscreen is actually sporty. It's slightly an extended version of the visor which it had before, that's all. And when it comes to the suspension and all, I'll say that the suspension is actually set to a softer side. It's really nice and plush. Be it the front suspension or the rear suspension, it has a really nice feel. There is absolutely no problem in taking it through broken roads and all. And to talk about the brakes, the brake feel is something different. You cannot really compare it with the Dominars or the KTM 250s and all. This motorcycle has got enough braking power, but it doesn't have that kind of a very sharp brakes. That means the braking is more beginner friendly. Why I say beginner friendly is that I'm not trying to justify the braking of this motorcycle. So in fact, if you want more bite from the brake, you have to pull the lever a little hard. Otherwise it gives a very nice and a progressive braking feel. And the tires are actually decent, good for straight lines and whatever speeds this can go. I really didn't had any confidence issues when I was in high speeds. The max I could do is something like 140 or something, that's all. And to talk about the city riding aspects, I really didn't got a chance to try the heating of this motorcycle. I was riding inside city, but it's a cold December morning, even though you see sun out here. It's somewhat like 20 degrees Celsius and it's cold, so I'm totally helpless in testing the heat dissipation of this motorcycle, and really didn't face any ground clearance issues and all. And this motorcycle is actually very nice to ride inside city. It's a little bit front heavy motorcycle, which gives you a very nice feel. You can steer it nicely, and you can really filter it through traffic as well. As I mentioned, if you are in the mid-rev ranges, you'll be able to keep yourself on the top inside city. And to talk about the clutch and the gearbox, what I'll say is that the clutch is like moderately tight, not too hard and all, but slightly harder to my taste. And the gear shifting is like really nice. I really didn't had any problem until now. It is going really smooth. And coming on to the ownership aspects, this is the F250 model, and this comes on road for 1,79,000, and if it's the N variant, it is 1,77,000. Basically it's only 2k difference. It's really a nice thing that there is not a huge difference, so that people get confused between those two models, whether to go for the high-end version or the low-end version. The N and F variants are priced really close. Bajaj is actually valuing and respecting each motorcycle in its own way. I think the additional cost is the fairing which comes on this motorcycle. Apart from that, there is no major difference. And this motorcycle actually goes for service once in 5,000 kilometers. Obviously the first service is in 750 kilometers, and from then on once in 5,000 kilometers. And Bajaj is doing the first 3 services as free service, and from then on paid services. Generally the paid service will cost something like 1,000 to 1,500 rupees, which is much affordable when you compare with other 250cc motorcycle in the segment, be the Dominar or the KTMs. This one is more pocket friendly when it goes for the service. And there are no real mileage figures from the users at this point in time, but as per Bajaj, this will return a good mileage of 35 to 40 km per liter inside city, and that is actually a really nice mileage figure. What I'll say that if you are getting something like 30 to 35 inside city, that is good, and 35 to 40 on a highway is like extremely good for this kind of a motorcycle. And now let's come to the verdict. So in my opinion, if you are looking for a very good looking motorcycle for your city, you certainly outstanding look, and yes, it has many clues from the 220F and the AS200, but still the graphics and everything is neat, nothing overdone. That's what I like with this motorcycle, and it's much flickable. Riding inside city, broken roads, not at all a problem. And when it comes to the highway, yes, if you are looking to cruise at a speed of 80 to 90, no problem, the vibrations don't bother you. You can tour on this motorcycle, you can tour even with your pillion, that's not an issue. And not really a good option for off-road, which is actually very evident. The downshifts are like awesome. It sounds really nice. So that's my quick review on the new Pulsar F250. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any doubts on this motorcycle, do let me know in the comment section. If I know that, definitely I'll be helping you out with a reply. So I hope this video is helpful for you, and as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.